Living in the moment to find peace. Hi, I'm CiCi with Wise Woman Evolving, and welcome. So, how do we live in the moment in this crazy world we seem to be living in now? That's a good question, isn't it? Hopefully we can find some answers together here today. There's a lot of chaos happening in the world today, both in mass consciousness, in the greater world across the globe, as well as individually inside and with close relationships, etc. So macro, micro, micro, macro, right? And I often say how we do one thing is how we do everything. But that goes a lot deeper than just, how we go throughout our routine throughout the day and then create routines within work or within cooking a meal or things like that. How we do one thing is how we do everything goes so much deeper, because what we experience inside in our own minds, on the hamster wheel, if we can't sleep at night, or the chaos in our worlds, the relationships, if we're having issues at work, if we're having issues with a neighbor, if we're having issues with our spouse or a family member or friendships or within groups we're in, we need to look at what is the common denominator and what pattern is going on there. Sometimes it's not in here. We've done our work, right? But we have to be willing to honestly look at ourselves to first figure that out. And if it's not, then another good way to approach that is to have compassion. Compassion for others. We are all on the same path, all on the same journey. I know you could say, oh, but those bad guys and these bad guys, etc. You know what? We are all on the same path. We might be on different parts of it, but we're still on the same path. So if we look at some situation or someone in a situation, and maybe, boy, our hackles are up. Maybe we're angry. Anger can be healthy. It can get things moving. It can make us get up and get something done. It can also encourage us to finally say something, to set some healthy boundaries, because that's a very important aspect in life. But if someone's being very angry and it's really hard to handle, especially when you're the one who you feel like you've done everything right, you're approaching everything from a higher spiritual aspect of the self, then how do we stay in that healthy spiritual space when someone's coming at us? And that's where I turn to compassion. How do we get there? Because that can be hard when we're feeling, oh my gosh, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to put up with it, etc. I'm trying to be nice, etc. Stop and take a deep breath, and I'm not just going to say breathe through it, because everybody can say that and it's easier said than done. But how about taking a moment to consider, just like you, maybe the driver of the car in front of you what if they have an emergency like you had once in your life? What if they're really in a hurry to pick up a child that got hurt at school or on the playground? And so they bolted out in front of you and cut you off. We don't know. We don't know what somebody else is going through. If it's a boss who's just screaming and hollering at you or giving you a very difficult time, maybe pause and think, just like me, that boss is trying to get along in life. They have bills to pay, food to put on the table, and they have a lot on their plate at work. and a lot of stress, and maybe they don't know how to handle it right now. And if you think, but I handle it well, I treat people kindly. Yes, but what about in the past? Before you learned how to take care of your neighbor, before you learned how to breathe and not respond so sharply, we're all human. I have studied spiritual growth for many, many, many years. And I have worked on self-improvement for eons. I'm still human. I still lose it sometimes. I still get aggravated. I still get frustrated. The key for me is I'm able to catch it a little quicker now. Well, a lot maybe. And then I back up and correct it. Even if it's sending a positive thought when I thought a yucky thought. Because we're human. We're going to judge, right? Oh my gosh. I'll tell you this. I think it was Tuesday, 2 days ago. My neighbor had a tree service come out and trim his tree. And a big branch fell on my side of the fence. And that service did not come pick it up, did not come ask to pick it up. I pulled my back recently, and I thought, I have to deal with that now? And I thought, at first I wanted to be frustrated and think, how dare them? And then I realized, you know what? Maybe they just wanted to be sure they didn't disturb me. Maybe they didn't realize it. I kind of doubt that one. But there's always a reason. And what if they just didn't care? You know what? That's okay too. Because I have to let go of the attachment. I have to let go of that judgment. I have to let go of the attachment to having rights wronged or having wrongs righted. I don't edit, y'all. This is real. What you see is what you get with me. But we have to remember that we're all human. We are all on the same path. We all make mistakes. And if we can remember that in the moment of, aggravation or frustration or upset, or when someone does wrong, when we're trying to follow a very spiritual path, it's hard. Do we sit back and just take it? No, we need to set healthy boundaries. That's part of a spiritual path as well, is learning not only when, but how, and to actually get up and do it and set those healthy boundaries. Sometimes we have to learn when to just sit back and recognize karma will come around. It's not my place to make sure they get their karma. That's between them and their creator. Yes, they may have wronged me in some way, but it's not my place to go make them make it right. Now, in a relationship, you talk about it and you bring those things up in a healthy way. But it's not my job to chase everybody down and make sure that they take care of me, because that's my responsibility. And then I have to look at myself. Why are these things happening to me? Am I looking at it that way? It's happening to me? No, life doesn't happen to us. It happens for us. Now, the key is figuring out how to get in the driver's seat of life. And that's a whole nother talk. And create our own reality, a better reality. And that is very possible, very doable. So to live in the moment, to find peace, to kind of go back to our topic, we can have that compassion and follow our hearts. Feel into the heart. Feel for the other person or the other situation, whatever group or whatever it is. And when you spend that more of that time in the heart space, then it's easier to have that compassion. It's easier to stop feeling like the victim and start living in the moment, because there is only the now. There's no past. There's no future. There's no guarantee of anything, except right now. We have right now. So another thing I want to get to with that is it's really hard and really confusing, or really scary, I should say. A lot of people right now are concerned. How do I know I'm going to be able to feed my family tomorrow? Because costs are rising. There's no guarantee of jobs anymore, et cetera, et cetera. And it's hard to live in the moment when you have those concerns. But something we really need to remember there is life has a way of taking care of life. If you are alive right now, and again, we can't worry about the future, but if you are alive right now, it means you are meant to be taken care of. And because life has a way of taking care of life, if you're alive, if you're meant to be alive, that means you have to be taken care of. That means you will have food in your belly, clothes on your back, shelter above your head. To what degree depends on your belief systems. And yes, you can climb out of the slums and make something of your life. It has been done before. I have a long story of where I came from and where I'm at today, and they are two totally different spaces. But I had to decide. I had to decide first that I was going to do it, whether I knew how or not. And I did. And I did something about it. Took me a while to climb out, but I did. I'm not going to say I'm a multimillionaire and I live a grand life, but I do live a grand life. I live a life that I enjoy, a life that I love. So it takes practice sometimes to be able to live in the moment, because things do frustrate us. People might do wrong by us, even when we're trying to do our best. Things are going to happen. Life happens. Chaos happens to pull us out of the heart space. If we are practiced at staying in the heart space, however, it takes a lot to pull us out of there. So it's easier to stay in the moment. It's easier to find peace. It's easier to be at peace so that when the chaos happens around us, it doesn't affect us. It's like water on a duck's back. I see that. Oh, well, it'll pass. Like my grandmother always said. I'm from French Cajun, Louisiana, and that was a saying. It'll pass. And it usually does. So those are things to keep in mind. I obviously can't cover all the details in the hows and things like that in a short video like this. I do offer group work. I offer individual work with clients. You can find me here on YouTube, Wise Woman Evolving. If you click on the links below in the description, you'll find a way to be in touch with me through email. I offer a free PDF. I do post some groups monthly. I do them on the second Tuesday of the month right now. I do those for free, and then I post them on YouTube for free. I do plenty of that work, and then there's deeper work. That's very, very basic, but it's a good start. And then I go deeper with other private groups and then individuals, obviously. Again, I'm CiCi with Wise Woman Evolving. Enjoy every moment. Go into your heart space. Just feel, where does that feel like? Have compassion for yourself first, and have compassion for others. Take time every day to literally smell the flowers. Take a break and go outside. Put your bare feet in the grass. Little things like that can help you live in the moment, because this is all we have is right now. They call the present moment a present for a reason. It's a gift. And we can have that moment by moment. The more we recognize that, the more we practice that, the easier it is to continue living in the moment, even amongst chaos. And then we have peace. We have peace now, and it's easier to stay in the now. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. Until I see you again next time, be well.